Guys, Master here bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be jumping into the new and final stage for now of the movie Bosses 2 Red Zone that came out with the release of the World Tournament, and that is of course the versus HIRUDEGARN stage. So this stage, like I say, will be the last stage that we get for a little while. Basically, once the anniversary properly begins, we will end up getting the... actually, you know what, I'm going to do this. Once the anniversary properly begins, we will end up getting the Beerus and Golden Frieza stages. But for now, these are the final stages. I do keep getting people ask me where the banner is to summon with the tickets that we get from doing these stages and the missions and everything. The banner doesn't come out until those final two stages come out. So when we do finally get the Beerus and Golden Frieza stages, they will obviously drop the last of the tickets with the last of the missions, and then the banner will be available. So that's why there's no banner in-game that you can see at the moment. So, but yeah, we're going to jump in here with the Tech Vegeta Super Saiyans team. Should be pretty straightforward, as this team is very good. It's one of my favourite teams to run at the moment. So yeah, I thought we would just try it out and see how we get on. There's a lot of characters on the team, like the LR Super Saiyans, Future Gohan, who are of course very solid units, but are not getting the full 200% lead from the Tech Vegeta, but obviously they'll still be fine regardless. These guys get the full 200 because of course one of Vegeta's plus 30% is pure Saiyans. So these guys certainly can be very, very good, especially if we get the Super Vegito transformation out towards the end. So unfortunately we started with a pretty bad setup here with both the Vegetas on the same turn, which means this one at the end is not going to get any stacks. Because I imagine if this Tech Vegeta doesn't kill HIRUDEGARN, then the Future Gohan will. So a little bit unfortunate. Especially when, you know, the Vegeta is going to be ideally our slot 1 unit for both of our rotations. And we didn't have him for the first turn or this next upcoming turn, which is a little bit annoying. But Vegeta are able to get a few super attacks off here, get some decent stacks in. I mean, this should be a pretty good run. HIRUDEGARN, of course, has this mechanic where when you get to the final phase, you can't do damage to him until he super attacks. Now, he does normally super attack straight away, like normally in slot 1. But if he's not even attacking in slot 1 before your first slot character attacks, then you have to be aware of the fact that like your slot 1 character is basically not going to do any damage. So a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. I think we can't get the AGL orb, so I think we probably do this then. Try and get rid of you here as quickly as possible, and then get the orbs for you. We still weren't able to get the AGL orbs. Unfortunately, 3 orbs is enough to give King Vegeta some damage reduction. He gets more if they're 3 AGL orbs, but he is only being hit by STR HIRUDEGARN, and he has type advantage over him, so should be fine. And then Birdku, as long as he doesn't eat a super as the first attack he takes of the turn, of course. Alright, it's only 255k. I mean, remember, of course, whilst this is the newest stage and the final stage that's out for now, it is only stage 5 of 7. And this is only the second phase, right? It's a 3-phase fight. So this HIRUDEGARN, not the craziest hitting unit in the world. Of course, he had to super attack the Birdku. Could have taken a normal first, right, to get our big defense buff, but it is what it is. Now we have the LR Super Saiyans doing their thing. We got a reasonable amount of orbs for them, so a couple of additional attacks here. Every additional super helps them because it carries over the attack boost for 3 turns. So that extra super means they're going to hit that a little bit harder on the next turn as well. And then King Vegeta is just a GOAT, like such a great banner unit. He's obviously very, very good with this team, especially linked up with Vegeta. We're actually able to get the fusion straight away here with Vegito as well. So pretty much we got this on lock now, really. I wouldn't be surprised. See, I could do... He will actually tank that super. But I mean, I could just do this, but in terms of links and stuff, I probably just want to do this. Because Vegito gets extra damage reduction on the turn where he does transform. So he probably, even if he... But bear in mind, this guy's got to survive a couple of attacks from Vegeta, then the super attack from Vegito, to even be able to super Vegito here. So There's a possibility he just doesn't get to attack at all. Although the super is the first turn, the first attack, unfortunately. If it was the second one, that would be great, because obviously he'd have to be eating a counter from Vegito first as well. But yeah, Vegito should be fine here. Vegeta getting multiple supers off again. Funny, because like my one, this is the friend one, right? We had to float off my one on the previous thing. My one hasn't gone to super a single time yet. But it is what it is. So Vegito, do some nice damage here. Gonna hopefully... oh no, it was the normal attack first. Okay. So we get a counter, no crit sadly. And then we eat the super. Should tank this relatively well, especially considering how much Bird Coup took. Yeah, he takes double-digit damage, okay. I was going to say, if Tech Carnival Goku's only taking 250k from that HIRUDEGARN super, then Vegito definitely in a good spot. But yeah, not killing him here probably is ideal if Gohan can not kill him, because then at least Tech Vegeta can get some stacks before we get to this final HIRUDEGARN phase. So that works out probably in our favour, to be honest. So we can do that. And then we probably just float you. Although it's unfortunate that you're not going to get any attacks off. Although, man, yeah, this is such an awkward situation. Because, like, they lose out their attack buff. I could put them in slot 1, so they get some attacks off to have a buff to carry over to the next turn. But then, this Tech Vegeta still gets no stacks. So, that's the only unfortunate thing about these events sometimes. If you do have a turn where you go over like an extra turn and the enemy's basically dead like straight away, is you don't get enough chance for all the units that want to do attacks to do attacks. Although apparently Tech Vegeta over here just going to do the one super anyway. So because the most important thing for the LR Super Saiyans is their 18 key super raises attack and defense for the 3 turns, so they will have extra defense at the start of the next turn if they get their 18 key super. Otherwise they won't. And then they could be in a slightly tighter position depending on how it pans out. But this should work out quite nicely. The Vegeta support, he's up to 791k defense already. I think we could probably let him get like 1 more turn worth of stacks here. The support from King Vegeta obviously goes a long way for him as well. So we can see how we get on. He should tank, yeah, should tank double digits here from everything. And then we get our super off up to 8.5 here. Of course, as I said before, we're not going to do any damage because he hasn't super attacked us yet. So you can see here, HIRUDEGARN taking double-digit damage. Now, funnily enough, I guess it could be awkward. I didn't check where the super was. If the super was the first attack, yeah, it was. See, if we transformed Vegeta, then Vegeta would have done an action break because he got hit first, which means then HIRUDEGARN wouldn't be supering during the turn, which then means you can't do any damage to him during the turn. So you have to be very careful if you have units that do action breaks. You have to be very careful where the super attack is from HIRUDEGARN and where your action breaks are potentially going to be. Because, yeah, if you action break his 1 super of the turn, you can't deal damage to him for the whole turn. Because until he super attacks, you can't hurt him. So that's something you obviously have to keep in mind if you are using characters that have these action break, like, active skills or built-in abilities. Like Buhan has one on his 18 key. Obviously active skills will only action break the very first attack of the turn. So of course having characters that have a scouter is hugely beneficial, because then we get to know where the super is, so we know we're not like accidentally action breaking away a super. So yeah, because see, he is supering as the first attack, so again it would be a bad idea to use the Vegeta transformation here. But we can go ahead and fire off a couple of active skills here. I do very much like the STR Future Gohan one. Good old Dokkan original 18 key super. I do still think, I know a lot of people like meme about it and stuff, they probably could have picked a better voice line for Goku for this. Because Piccolo's one's great, but you gotta remember that this is supposed to be, even though it's a what-if scenario, this is Gohan, like the final surviving Z fighter, who's only got 1 arm at this point, trying to fight to the end of his life, basically, to defeat the androids. And Goku's like, stop being such a pampered baby, Gohan. So right, we'll use the Super Saiyans one here. Depending on how much damage this does, we could potentially win this turn, because this gives them guaranteed crits for the rest of the turn as well. So we have type advantage with the LR Super Saiyans, so should be a pretty strong turn here. don't know what the in-orb situation is looking like for them, though. But... bam! Yeah, 16 mil crit. You love to see that. So, yeah, we should be good. We can't really drop down... yeah, I have to get these, otherwise I can't even get a super for Vegeta, so that's unfortunate. So, yeah, we've got a very bad orb turn here. Although I suppose, realistically, I actually didn't even need to get a super for Vegeta because he can't do damage, so it doesn't really matter. So it's a bit of a shame. The Super Saiyan's doing a lot of damage with the active skill, but then they're not really going to do much else here. Only getting you a 12-key super. But, you know, Future Gohan gets his permanent buff from having done his active skill. Got the domain buff up as well. So, should be... Gohan does have the potential to be able to finish off HIRUDEGARN here. Vegeta just getting all these additionals anyway, despite doing double-digit damage. Getting nicely stacked up, of course, but... oh, we did crit. So he did enough damage to his attack is high enough that we actually did enough damage with the crit. Took 315k though through guard. That's crazy. The Super Saiyans will be able to do a little bit of damage here, right? Guaranteed crit. It's only the 12-key super, but guaranteed crit. And then, yeah, nice little additional normal as well. So Future Gohan up to 10 mil. Depending on additionals, Future Gohan will get the dub here. And then if not, we will go ahead and use the Tech Vegeta. Depends whether he gets an additional super or not. He did. So yeah, Future Gohan is going to stop being such a pampered baby and take out HIRUDEGARN here. And there we go. So that was the HIRUDEGARN stage. So the thing you got to be very careful about with this stage is, like I say, you can't damage him until he supers. So he pretty much always supers like straight away. So you need to make sure that whatever team you're bringing into this event, that you have a slot 1 tank for both rotations that can eat a super if they have to, right? Like if you're bringing like Physical God Goku, it's very much a case that like he would have to dodge it. So ideally you want to try and bring units that can actually just straight up tank that super in slot 1. Because if you end up stuck in a situation where you basically don't have a slot 1 unit, then you're going to be in serious trouble, because active skills that do damage during the start of the turn, like we saw the Super Saiyans one was able to do damage because they hit so hard and they get a guaranteed crit. But if you're doing an active skill that doesn't have a guaranteed crit and you don't crit on it, there's the potential that the active skill doesn't even do that much damage, because obviously HIRUDEGARN hasn't supered yet. So definitely a fun stage. I do like the fact they gave him that ability, because I like it when they make the characters or the bosses kind of like lore relevant to what they are like from the show or the movies, right? And obviously that's the whole point. You can't damage HIRUDEGARN until the point where he attacks. So I think that is a cool little mechanic for his event. But let me know how you guys got on with the HIRUDEGARN Red Zone stage. What team did you use? Whether you used items or not, obviously not important. But let me know how you guys got on with it down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.